all into you. He's pursuing you. He's doing all the things to make you happy. He's going to go through another phase called the pull away phase. Now, ladies, just hold on to your seat here because this can be very confusing. Now, what is the pull away phase? Per Dr. John Gray, okay, and you can, I've studied the pull away phase deeper from a scientific perspective, but if you want to get like an overview understanding, you can read the book by Dr. John Gray called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, and he goes into it. He's very great about being able to explain it. However, the pull away phase, aka what he calls the rubber band phase, is where this man ends up pulling back. Sometimes he pulls back mentally, sometimes he pulls back emotionally, sometimes he pulls back in the effort that he was giving, sometimes he just disappears. Right? You're talking every day, and then you might go a day or two without talking, or he's gone for a week and you're mad and you want to block him and you want to send him a long ass text. Okay. You want to send him a dissertation. You want to send him an entire encyclopedia about how you thought this man was so different, how you thought that what you had was something special, how you need to know where you stand and what's happening between us and all the yada, 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 yada. And the pull away phase happens around 2.5 to 3 months. And you're right, an entire thesis. You got a whole thesis on what the man did. All right. You done read Homer's Odyssey. Homer's Odyssey about this man disappearing on you, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. How you handle the pull away phase is everything. And men operate differently. Every man is biochemically wired in its own unique way under the umbrella of man, right? So every man's testosterone, different men have different levels of testosterone. What I found is that the women who have the best experience with the pull away phase, where the man comes back the fastest and it's not as extreme, are the women who are usually the most confident, the women who usually have a life, the women who are like, you know what, I'm okay with walking away. I know who I am. And usually those women are so fabulous, so confident, they so much have it going on that they don't even notice when their man goes through the pull away phase. Every man goes through the pull away phase to some degree, and if he doesn't, I would be concerned. Some men go through the pull away phase mentally, like he's having that mental moment like, do I want to take the plunge? Do I want to move forward? Because for a man, men are not like women. They don't multitask. They can't think and multitask at the same time like a woman. In order for a man to see how he feels about you, for a lot of them, they have to pull back, miss you, evaluate if they want to move forward long term. It's not a game. This is just biochemical. You also rush a man to the pull away phase if you have sex with him too soon. Okay. So according to Dr. Llewellyn Brizendine and Dr. Don Maslar, again, y'all, this has been studied. This is not coming out my butt. All right. This is scientific. This has been research. There are human trials where this has been studied on the anthropology of human attraction. So you can heed it or not. However, biochemically, we're still wired a certain way. So for all the women that get all up in arms like, my husband, he fell in love with me in 3 days. He proposed to me in 3 weeks. And we've been married for 30 years. And we're amazing. It's like, ma'am, stop lying first, okay? Stop lying. I see you watching my videos on a regular basis. It is not all good in Denver. All right. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if it happens to be good, you're the exception, not the rule. You are the exception, not the rule. Because for the women that I see, and I've been doing this for 2 decades, I've seen tens of thousands of women. I've helped tens of thousands of women. If you don't know about me, if you're brand new to me, Google me. There's a lot of documentation. I've been around since 2004. Teaching this, studying this. I've written 6 books on this. I have a whole entire university that is the state of the art. There's nothing else out there like it that helps women to be able to transform their lives on so many different levels. And I'm telling you that the women that end up rushing into a relationship, more times than not, end up regretting it. They end up marrying men who are narcissists. They end up in dysfunctional relationships. They end up discovering later on that there were things about him that she didn't know, that she regrets. He had certain habits that she did that doesn't make her happy. He doesn't really appreciate her. He doesn't really value her. He's not meeting her mental, her emotional, her physical, her spiritual needs. A lot of times he's broke and he rushed to lock her down so that she can be the one that's the breadwinner, and that's a whole other story. Narcissists love rushing into a relationship. Narcissists love it because the faster they can rush in and get you locked down, then the longer or the faster they can take the cloak off and you can see who they really are, because they know that eventually their true colors is going to come out. and then you're going to want to run. But if you're married, then it makes it difficult. The more they can get you stuck, okay? Like Ballerina Farms girl, you know, that situation is a perfect classic example of a narcissist and what narcissists and abusers do. He forced her, manipulated her to agree to marry him after only 1 month of dating. They got married in like 3 months, and now here she is. She was a Juilliard on full scholarship for the love of Christ. And we've seen, for those of us who are in my age bracket, we've seen our mothers and our grandmothers make these kind of sacrifices. They get married and their dreams go to hell in a handbasket, and they sacrifice all that while the man gets to rise up, build his business, build his career, live out his dream. And then when he gets good and tired, when he reaches midlife crisis, he wants to get rid of her, get another younger woman. And then now the woman who gave up everything, her dreams and everything, gave up everything, is left with nothing. So Ballerina Farms girl, she got into it. Then not only that, right after they got married, she was pregnant within a year. Juilliard trained ballerina. He locks her down, and now she's pregnant. Dream gone. She's not dancing again. She's sure to hell not gonna get in Juilliard on Juilliard level, okay? And so this is what a narcissist does. Here's the thing, ladies, that I just want you to go over into the common sense and really think about. All right. And I'm really talking to a lot of the younger people because we get so caught up on the looks of things. You get so caught up in Cardi B and her relationship, and it looked all sunshiny at first. And you see what a hot mess that is. And you see all these different celebrities with their so-called sunshiny relationships, and you want to replicate that foolishness. And then you're moving way too fast. So let's go to the common sense corner. What will it hurt you to wait? If he is really the one, if he is really the guy that's meant to be with you, what will it hurt for you to get to know him, be in a relationship with him, and see his temperament for at least 4 seasons before you say I do to him? What will it hurt? Why not wait? Why are we rushing to have sex and give up our gummy drops before we truly get to know a man? Because ladies, you should never, ever, ever say I do to a man before you have seen his 3 faces. Every man, write this down, has 3 faces. His public face, his private face, and his secret face. Every man does. And when you are dating, the only one you're seeing is his public face, okay? Just because he smells delicious, ma'am, just because he looks scrumptious, just because you feel some butterflies and some chemistry, does not mean that he is who he says he is. It doesn't mean that he is the right man. It doesn't mean that he is a good guy. It doesn't mean that he has good intentions. It doesn't mean that he is serious about you. It doesn't mean he will be a good father. It doesn't mean he will be a good husband for the love of Christ. Doesn't mean that. How will you know if he is a good man, a good husband, if you're not properly vetting him and giving yourself time to see him for who he really is? And if you're really good, you're going to wait before you have sex with him until you see that secret face. You need to see that private face and that secret face before you give up your gun drops, because you can be sleeping with a demon. You worrying about STDs, you should. Sexually transmitted demons. And some of these men, because they have no source and their energy is so dark and their trauma is so dark and their hate for their mother is so dark, that they're looking for somebody that they can take it out on. Anyway, listen or not. So the pull away phase is when his testosterone has dropped so low that now it's produced cortisol. The stress part is that they talk about, like you need to stress a man out. The stress happens because he's falling in love with you, ma'am. That's the stress. Because as he's falling in love with you, his testosterone is dropping and it's increasing cortisol. Cortisol is his stress hormone. It's stressing him out. So he needs to pull back. He needs to give his testosterone a chance to raise up again. And he needs a chance to miss you.